get to space, I'll tell you that. And these satellites are up in the sky above the clouds, way up in the sky. They use weather balloons. They use the ability to hold them against the dome, because we can't get past the dome. So there's all types of communication equipment up there. And every now and then something falls out of the sky, and then they have to tell you, oh, a weather balloon, a weather station. Like they have to come up with excuses on what it is. I think that the Chinese weather balloon, or the Chinese spy balloon thing, was one of those that just happened to get too low and they had trouble with it. And it was one of the bigger ones. So they had this whole story on it's a Chinese thing spying on us. That's what I really think that whole event was. So that's that topic. Let's get into the Trump assassination. Or attempted assassination. You might be surprised, but not if you listen to me just yesterday. This entire thing was staged. These pictures were staged. The event was in a smaller area than normal. It was no more than, I think, 15 acres or 20 acres of the event. 5 acres of stuff needed for the event. Very small area. Everyone involved in there, everyone in the audience was in on it. The witnesses were in on it. The area that was 130 to 150 yards from the event was completely in on it. In fact, I believe that they had rehearsal. Like before they went live, they rehearsed it because they needed to know everybody would be in the right positions and whatnot. I was fortunate enough to see it live on TV because I had in-laws visiting my house at the time. So we had it live. We had Newsmax live showing this thing. I believe it was Newsmax or Fox News. It was one of those two. We were watching it live as it happened. And we're talking, these family members they're Trump flag people. Like they're all for Trump. They didn't need this event to turn them for him. So we're watching this thing. And as it plays out, I notice a lot of oddities, like right away, immediately. It's so easy to spot. We're led to believe that some random young man climbed up on a rooftop that's 130 yards away. I think the news kept saying 150 yards away, but it's actually 130 yards, which is even closer. And this guy climbs up on a roof with a rifle. And I'm going to show you a video that I just received that I'll show you. It's 1,000% impossible that it even did it at all. And I'm going to show you why. You're going to see in just a minute. I didn't have this last time, but now I have it now. So this kid, 20-year-old actor, he's a crisis actor. Trump's a crisis actor. None of the Secret Service were real Secret Service. They were all crisis actors. They were even acting like a Secret Service detail. They were acting odd, like they didn't know how to act when a president gets shot. Obviously, they weren't acting correctly, because I know how they're supposed to act. I'll give you an example. When Reagan got shot, a guy with a revolver took a shot at Reagan, supposedly to make Jodie Foster happy or something. The news gave us a really weird story with that one. But if you could remember, any of you that were alive back then, remember how fast the Secret Service got Reagan into the car so quickly and pulled out so fast that most people didn't even know if Reagan was hit. They thought maybe they got him out of there before anything happened. It was very, very fast. There was no time for him to hold his fist up and pose and all this weird stuff Trump did. So let's get back to Trump. So Trump, he has a lot of experience with the WWE. I'm going to show you that video. At first, I thought when he grabbed his ear and he dropped to the ground, I thought he took a razor blade to his ear, because the older WWF, they used to take razor blades to their forehead. They would drop down, cut their heads a little bit and come up, and then there would be blood all over their face. And it would be real because it would be pumping from their forehead. So it would make the event look real, like somebody's really getting beat up. Well, now I believe he just had a little blood packet and he put his head down and smacked his ear with it. And then, because you could see the blood trickles forward, and then he stands up. Now, if his ear was actually cut, it wouldn't stop bleeding. It would continue to bleed. There would have been blood dripping down. There would have been blood in his hair. There would have been at least some blood on his jacket coming down on his shirt right there, because your ear just doesn't, he's not holding his ear. If the tip of his ear was cut into with a rifle bullet, he would continue to bleed. It wouldn't be just this little bit of like a ketchup stain like that. So you have that problem. You have another problem where the shooting was several rifle rounds fired at him and in the crowd. And let me show you these. I'll show you these other pictures as I'm talking about this, so you can understand what I'm talking about. So here's the scene right here. If you can see, location of the gunman's body in the upper left-hand corner, that area is only about 130 yards away. Location of the wounded rally attendee, as you scroll to the right, that I'm calling BS. I don't think they used real bullets at all. I don't think any of it was real. So you have the location of the law enforcement sniper on the roof, and just to the upper right of that. Think about a sniper, a trained law enforcement sniper of any kind, and you have additional snipers to the right, apparently, with bleachers to the bottom of them, and then the staging area in between. Well, a trained military or law enforcement sniper, any trained sniper, 150, 130 yards away, that is so close to them with the scope, it would be like you sitting next to them in a car. That's how close it is. That's how impossible it is for somebody that is so close. It's like cartoonishly close is what I'm trying to portray to you. Number one, it's so super close, it's impossible. Well, I'm going to show you a video here in a second that the distance wasn't 130 yards. The distance was 20 feet. I'm going to show you that. So it's completely impossible. This did not happen the way they said. The people shot in the audience didn't happen. You saw, we were supposed to believe there's multiple news cameras facing an event that they didn't know was getting ready to happen. They didn't know he was going to get shot, supposedly, right? And then when it started happening, no cameras panned around at all. We just get one scene, and it's that one scene up at the podium where Trump holds his fist up in the air and says, fight. Now, my theory for that, why they didn't move the cameras around, is because they needed to get that picture, and that was the main reason. They wanted this iconic, historic picture of him and the American flag, and they got it. And you also notice the crowd, if you were observant with the crowd in the background, when the shooting started, they dropped their signs, they ducked a little bit, and then they all come up with their cell phones and they're all filming it. That's weird, right? The fire chief guy that supposedly died in the RNC convention, Trump comes out and he hugs the fire chief's uniform, and the guy's name spelled incorrectly on the uniform. There's some kind of weird cover story for it, the news is saying, but they would not spell your name wrong. The guy wouldn't have his name spelled wrong. He'd been doing that job for over 20 years. So here's another look at the where the shooter was. You see the rooftop location to the wounded victim down to below. If you look just to the right, you can see law enforcement sniper, that other building, rooftop to rooftop, right? Now, this video or this picture here shows you the whole event. You see the approximate range from the shooter to from the snipers, counter snipers to the shooter is 130 yards. Incredibly close. Incredibly close. I'm going to show you my new information in a minute. I'm excited about showing you. This is the guy that supposedly did it, Thomas Matthew Crooks. I haven't looked into the name to see if that's even a real name. A lot of times it's just an actor's name and his real name's something else. I have not researched that. I'm letting you guys know that up front. I know that it's already been released that he was in a BlackRock commercial a year before. And many people ask me, well, why was he in a BlackRock commercial? Who are in commercials? Actors are in commercials. He's an actor. Yeah, he's not, he doesn't look like a guy that would be really successful on stage. He's on this kind of stage. He's an actor. I would suggest to you guys, be on the lookout for the next shooting event or the next big event and look for this guy's face. You're going to see him again. He'll look a little different. He may be wearing a hat or something. We will see him again. He's not dead. They didn't shoot him. He's an actor. He's an actor. So let me show you the new video. First of all, I'm going to show you the brand new video. This right here, I'll just let the video play out. It's 15 seconds, and then we'll talk about it. All right, so that video, let me play it again and see if I can't pause it the way I load it. Let me load it in a share mode so I can pause it. Hold on a second. Let me get back in here. And it's the Secret Service staging area, by the way. So let me. All right, so I've paused. Let me play it out of here. Let me put it where I want to show you. Look right here. If you see this middle part, that's where the ladder was right there. And then we're looking over here. Right across there is the event. Okay. All right. See the chat room if anybody's trying to talk to me. So, steep roof and all that stuff. It's all BS. It's all part of the story. We were looking out the window from the law enforcement / Secret Service staging area of the event. The shooter is right there. This building right here is where the shooter is. Are you understand what I'm saying? He's 20 feet away. Those two red buildings in the distance is the event. We are in the staging area. Are you guys listening to what I'm saying? All right. So I have a awakened saint I'd like to help if needed on the 30th. Expand on that. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay. So you guys understand this? You understand how incredibly, there's no way this event was real. It's right there. He's literally right there. This is the area they staged in this room. This is like their little command center and you see how small the event is. Look out there. It's just the guy's yard of this farm right here. It's very, very small. Not a normal Trump rally thing. Not normal at all. Well, did you guys think Trump was Christian? This has been played out from some people, and it's worthy of listening to. Is Trump Christian? Well, why don't you listen to Trump?
Everyone you know, and vote early, vote absentee, vote on election day. I don't care how, but you have to get out and vote. And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you.
Did you catch that? He says, you beautiful Christians, I'm not Christian. He actually says it 3 times. I just didn't make you listen to the whole thing. He's not Christian. He tells you he's not Christian. So this whole Christian warrior business about Trump is not true. Not true at all. All right. And here we go. He is WWF. This is WWE, WWF. Here's Trump right here.
Through your head as you slapped Vince McMahon?
Well, he had no right to touch me, and he started playing around, and I gave him a wallop, and I think it had a pretty big impact. Actually, he's got a little problem with his face right now.
Got a little problem with his face right now. All right, so that's an old video. This was the RNC convention. This is not an old video. This is a new video.
What happened last week when they took a shot at my hero. And they tried to kill the next president of the United States. Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother.
All right, Trump mania. I was answering Lacey's question. Why did I say he's not Christian? Well, I won't type it. I'll tell you. He said he wasn't Christian. Why do you think he said he wasn't Christian? Listen.
And vote early, vote absentee, vote on election day. I don't care how, but you have to get out and vote. And again, Christians, get out and vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian. I love.
Did you hear him? You beautiful Christians. I'm not Christian. Played it twice for you, just in case you missed it. I'm not thinking he said it. That's what he said. I just played the video. He literally said it. Out of the mouth of the man, he said that. And way before any of this stuff took place, he did this. This is a ritual that I don't know exactly what he was receiving in this ritual, but this is confirmed. It's a real video. Yeah, please excuse the background music. I didn't take it out because I didn't want to affect the video when it was sent to me. So why would Trump say he's not Christian? The rules of the game is they have to tell us the truth, but they don't have to convince you of the truth. This all began with like I've said many, many times, it's all began with a piece of fruit was bitten into. And Satan said, I will give you knowledge. You'll have knowledge as the gods. But the problem is you're also going to have death. He didn't tell you that part. He didn't tell you. He told you the truth. We did gain knowledge. We had the knowledge of good and evil. But what comes with that is death. So yes, they have to tell you the truth. And even in this event, you can easily see the truth that it's all fake. But they're not going to sit there and go through it like I am. I am an awakened saint showing you the truth and explaining it to you and getting you around to seeing it. I'm not just going to tell you the truth. I love the truth. These guys don't love the truth. They don't serve our God. They serve a God, and they'll say God many times. And as we've seen as an example in the opening of the Olympics in Paris, which I don't know if you guys know, the power went out after they did all that blasphemy stuff. The entire city lost power, which is kind of interesting. More to come on that next live stream. But they show us who they truly worship. And they're not going to convince you to see the right thing because they don't have your best interest at heart. They really don't. All right. So I think I'm caught up. Let me see. I've given you the new video there. So I want to make sure I didn't forget to show you something. I think we're good. I think we're ready to take a break.